works. Okay. We can start. I need permission, these glasses. And those kind of Paritas, for example, like 8 class, and moving through the space. This kind of the Paritas, of course, they all the times terrify or terror and hallucinations. For example, like powerful, authentic, like a kind of the bury themselves. Sometimes like some authentic or powerful yogis, they can to bury them under the ground, burn into the fire. And during the performing ritual things, in which they cast all the stored of immaterial weapons of theirs, like cast far away, and bury them in the deepest under the ground, and burn into the many fire in the fires. Of course, those powerful, authentic, or it's like a reciter of the mantras. There are some different, even the not Buddhist people. Any kind of spirituals has different mantras. And those mantras, if they can harm to those spirits, and they can do. And therefore, in the Buddhist perspective, whoever practices authentic, to work those Paritas or the spirits very much with compassions. Through the compassions, maybe they bury them, their own obscurations, their defects, but their mind is never bury. Also these compassionate, powerful, authentic practitioners, if they have such realizations, compassions, they burn them. That means they burn the defects of the samsara, like the Parita sufferings. But of course, not their mind. And how you can to do, particularly some compassionate rituals. And also it's the doer of the rituals, such as realizations. And through the realization of compassions, how they can to help to those creatures, those sentient beings. And therefore, when they are cast all stores, and they're using the different tools, and of course, those minds not necessarily to cast, but the defects of the sufferings, the suffering of the Paritas, they can to destroy it. In order to fastly destroy, quickly, urgently, immediately, then they can to do. But someone hasn't got any compassions. Only the concerning in your sight, some humans, your family, your friend, sick, or they disturbed by these Paritas Ralamas of the spirits. I want to destroy it. I want to bury them. I want to burn them. I want to cast them. That is not very good. It's not really Buddhist path. Maybe may you have imagined some in the ritual perspective. In the Buddhist also doing same as the like other spiritualities. The reality really to you can to investigate, to go to in the deep of the ritual sadhana, completely different. And absolutely, in this authentic practitioner's perspective, they never consider some spirit, ghost, harmers. They are kind of thinking existence or the externally existence. They consider their own disturbing emotions and sentient beings' obscurations. They kind of the enemy. They want to bury them. They want to burn up them. They cast them, their own disturbing emotion, and included sentient beings' defects of the obscuration, sufferings. Particularly great realization, authentic ritual doers, those kind of the demon spirit of the disturbing emotions, they bearing into the natural expanse. They burn in the huge container of natural expanse, which is the true nature of the realities. They cast into in this space. Of course, wonderful. When they bury in this natural space or the natural expanse, if they burn in the container of the natural expanse, cast into this natural expanse, that means they make liberation, they make enlightenment. Otherwise, it's kind of the thinking, there's such deep hole. I want to bury, there's some sentient beings. And also you think there are such iron containers, like kind of the stuff. You imagine there's some sentient beings, spirit existence, bring them there, you burn up, kind of the destroyer. Very much kind of ordinary way like this. This is not really the authentic ritual perspective. And of course, sometimes they say they lock them under the earth in the darkness for kabbas. And of course, in the no compassion, many kind of magic doers, they recite some mantras, like according the supernatural powers. Maybe they can do both, but in the Buddha's teaching, the authentic according to sadhana, authentic practitioners, yes, this kind of the same similarity sentences, but they put such darkness for eons. What they put their own disturbing emotion, the suffering of the sentient beings, never ever coming out again. Of course, they put such earth, under the earth means under the earth of the natural expanse. The darkness of the such non-conceptualizations. For kalpa, don't need to calculate. To put or too locked in this natural expanse forever. But there's like no need to return. I'm just to tell you, there was Wangpo, that was my family. I don't need to call the name. He has 2 wives. 1 wife, no child. 1 wife, 4 children. And he went to some in the Central Tibetans, some monasteries, monks, some is like more like irrational practitioners. To see this kind of the situations, they hate it. They kind of says, these tantric practitioners, sometimes they have powerful. First, maybe we can to analyze. And the 2 persons went there. 1 person entered into this big sack. 1 person carry to put the front of this tantric practitioner. Say, my friend has died. Can you make him pause? Are you sure? Really your friend has died? Oh yes. Okay, I can make him pause. He chose to take out his baku. How do you call the smoke pipe? And he smoked. And he just smoked. And then this ash he put in the sack, on the sack. Okay, I made pause. You didn't recite any prayer, nothing. How you make? Okay, thank you. And he's a little bit inside teasing. And he quickly bring back, just behind, open the sack, he coming out. He don't understand nothing. Are you okay? He died. He dead already. And he was so scared. He's shaking, and maybe I tidy up sack, maybe not. What can I do? And then suddenly he run. He lived there and run to the, hey, a tantric practitioner. I'm very sorry. We just tested you. And then it's like my friend has died, but before not died. And what can I do? He says, oh, bad person. And your friend is dead. I can't do nothing. He cried, can you help? Okay, bring back. He bring back, and he same did as a baku, the pipe and drink, smoke. He put in the head, hit it, and he's come back. Oh, that is your friend is not dead. And then this friend says, wake up. He said, what happened? And, oh, yes, but maybe don't touch this kind of person. It's very powerful. You're dead. No, I'm not dead. But why you awake at me? I was so wonderful place. Extremely wonderful place. Why you wake up me? He's crying. And no need. And then they went to ask to him blessings on this. He said, no, never coming close to me. Like this. Sometimes you have really to master the minds. And they can do like this. They can, like these tantric practitioners, like a kind of berry, or it is like kind of the put really is like under this natural expanse. Of course, he's be there. He don't want to come back. His own nature. And then he has very nice experience. Maybe he can to stay there. But of course he need to come back, according to his friends. And like this, sometimes really to have great practitioners, maybe what they will do is okay. But sometimes imitating, some is like kind of like actors. And doing such a different ritual things is better to take care. For example, even the holiness. These days, he says, when he's giving empowerments, before there is we call the Yongwa, to kind of the dedicate Torma. The Torma's name is Geto. And then it's after you take out the chopins take out, and the lamas use must seed. Dhammaras, that means it's like go away casting, whoever disturbed. But Holiness says, I don't want to cast them. I don't want to bury them. I don't want to burn up them. I'm saying to them to sit there, we can to enjoy together to Dharma. I'm offering empowerment not only the humans, even to you. I want to make liberation. You see. He's like kind of stopped to reciting. But this is only the holiness. But of course, it's like sometimes they do this kind of happen. Otherwise, why I'm saying this, for example, you hear like this, then it looks like Buddhist paths, there's no compassion. And they to bury into the ground and burn up. They lock them under the earth in the darkness for the culprits. Burn them up at the offering fires. Pound them with the mustard seed, like powdered stones, like kind of like small pebbles. And like they are like kind of split them, head into the 100th piece. And they are like kind of the bodies into 1,000 fragments. And of course, when you're hearing this kind of the word, then where is the compassion? And the real authentic practitioners, they consider those demons, those kind of the hungry ghosts or spirit is their own disturbing emotions. And of course, those hungry ghosts, those kind of comes from the obscuration, disturbing emotion, and negative karmic depths. And they destroyed them, not this being's consciousness, not being's the heart. And like this, then it's like they like making the pregnant of the disease and disturbing emotion and suffering, so on. But maybe it's like someone hasn't got compassion and just imitating like doing, then those hungry ghost sentient beings, they can't receive it. They're very much suffering. They're feeling their head is like become the split, become the piece, hundreds, become the like kind of 1,000 fragment they had. They're using the mustard seed, and some other things. And also it's like, of course, according to the day, in the past negative karma actions or the negative actions, like all the pretas have kind of the different experience, these two have the destroyed perceptions, distorted perceptions. No, distorted perception. Distorted perceptions. Distorted perceptions means you see the white, it's like maybe yellow, green. You see the black, kind of white, green, red. This kind of, you have the distorted perception, delusories. For example, like in a winter times, sun is the feeling cold to them, make ice. In the summer, they like kind of the moon is very much hot, can to burn. These kind of the distorted perceptions and very much wrong perceptions. And therefore, they have this kind of their own individual and karmic tendencies, obscurations, has appearances. And whatever they perceive looks like those kind of the hungry ghost ralamas. It's a similarity of the external obscuration hungry ghosts. Like they see the sun's months is opposite. Even the like kind of the winter timers, sun is become cold. And also summer is the moon is also become hot. And this kind of situations occurrences. Some take the form of the bird. And a dog, another animals, crocodile, frog. And most animals are the hunger ghosts, ralamas. And like kind of they related to the earth very much. Also those animals, bird, dog, crocodile, shark, wolf, those can harm to you, and also they need to receive in order to survive. Those animals, hideous look upon, hideous to look upon, repulsive body, like a frog, like a crocodile. Maybe some as animals, really repulsive body, hideous to look upon. In short, the preta sufferings are the inconceivable. Of course, day and night. We should to think, to practice as before, meditate with the methods, compassion. For the beginning, application bodhicitta. Both aspiration bodhicitta, application bodhicittas. Main non-conceptualization, supreme view of the emptiness. Practice and the conclusion of the great compassion activity of the dedications. Middling, take on the sufferings of these beings and practice Tonglen. Take those sufferings, give your virtues, good things to them, and cultivate your love and compassion for them. Then you are the superiors and holy, absolutely great. And according to Pretas, Ralamas, we already explored. Now we are in the border of the Preta and the animal Ralamas. We choose to kind of the 1 minute we are going to explore or the traveling exercise about the animal Ralamas. Before we cross, do you have any questions? There's no many questions about the Pretas. Pretas. Okay. And the only one they said, but maybe we can do later do, okay? Now it's the third. And the country or the Ralamas, animals Ralamas. These are the obvious. We can very much connect to the human Ralamas. We can to see them, even though sometimes humans, very bizarre way. They say this, I want to become animals. Enemy, not animal. Dog, cats. They don't need to work. They can sleep every day. They receive food, care by the others. No, I wouldn't say I want to become the animal. And the animal has such sufferings under the human control. If you have like the pets, or like kind of your home animals, even that included your life kind of the stock, those are not freedoms. We all the time is control to them. Whatever they want, they cannot do. But animals, how it is the situations, which kind of they have experience. It's a wonderful. we are really working the part of National Geographic. It's searching different animals. This is in the Buddhist perspective, is the third in low realms. Why you call the low realms the inferior realms? Still there are such defects by the ignorant, and according to ignorant in the past actions, they have such a different type of the sufferings. Of course, basically, birth, old age, sickness, death, that is the principle. But top of there is, they are like kind of the eating each other, beating each other, and under control to the other sentient beings. They are not really is a freedom. They are not completely happy. We need to exploit. There are two categories of the animals. Those living in the depth and those scattered in the different place. And the third in the low realms of the animals. Someone is the depth means it's in the space, maybe in the rock, in the ocean, in the jungle, under the earth, like this kind of depth. In Tibet is a Shina. And those scattered, maybe it's like uncertainty place. And also they have different place, they have different experience, they have different sufferings. And then is the first is the living in the depth. Here is animals living in the depth. That what does it means? Like kind of the great out ocean, turn with the fish. Of course, some fish very, very living in the depths, maybe hundreds meters under the depths in the oceans. And also it's like repelled. Are you sleeping? I am sleeping. Repelled. Repelled means it's like a kind of the snake, almost like a turtle. Most someone like a penguin, crocodiles. It's not very much using the legs, arms. Their stomach using to move different place. And also like that turtle, shellfish, frog, and worms. Worms inside some different worm, insect, and other creatures. Like these animals, it's only the exceptionally the human beings. Human beings is not kind of animal. Of course, you can to say that the physically similarity, but human beings more social animals, like kind of the intelligent, is a completely different style of the animals. And therefore there are such different creatures. Womp, a lot of kind of the repelled, and using the 4 legs, 2 legs, many different type of the creatures, animals. As a mountain muro, as the grain of numerous, my eyes wrong, numerous frangus, numerous as the grain of the malt. Grain of the malt. It is kind of some green. And you can to make the beer, alcohols. In the bottom of the barley, and some barleys to make the chang, delicious beer. I drink once one cup. It's not very delicious, but it's say delicious. Like this, they are the spent and monstered too big that their bodies can wind many times around mountain mirrors. They're like kind of the too big together, really inconceivables. They're like, looks like how they're living on the bottom of the bay barrels. When you be in the seaside, some different seashells, they are stick into the rock, stone. Absolutely, they are living same as the bottom of a bay barrel. No gap between theirs. They stalk each other. Have you seen that? I saw many times. Difficult to work on. You kill of them. And maybe they like hurt your feet. But if you like kind of the break to take out piece of the like stone, but reality is they stick each other to living theirs. Like this kind of in the ocean. Some is like a womp, some seashells, and some animals living there, be bears. There are the spent and monsters. And huge, body is very big. And also it's like those, here it says mountain mirrors. There's a kind of the legendary, one or two fish. It's going the round of the mountain mirror. They all the time sleep, living there. And they're surrounded, very long. One is like this, like going like this. Maybe it is like others' head, others' tail. But completely reached all the round of the mountain mirror. Like this kind of fish. For we perceived huge fish like a mammal or the whales, maybe in some deep water. Maybe so many big, some is difficult to we see. Like this. And the other creatures are as the small as particularly of the dust or the tip of needles. It is like the tip of the needle. You need kind of the microscope in order to look this. There is indivisible, the kind of the animals. Very tiny. The eating is the huge beings like animals. Making nest, eating to them, and like this. And of course, when you look at the whales, that means they all undergo immense sufferings. the bigger ones swallow up the small ones. When you add this, the whales, some whales, no teeth, but mouth is so huge. When they are eating their meals, they eat millions of small fish one time, and they are like kind of without chewing and swallowed. And also it's like the small one and burrow into the big ones, like kind of our bacteria. In our body's bacteria, they're swimming into our body very, very fast. Like same as the blood, how they travel into whole of the. Like this, when they enter into the big animals, they kind of they can go inside. Like same as the stick. And some other beings, when they beat to us, it's very easy. They can enter into our bodies. Big ones eat them alive in their turns. And therefore the big animals all have many tiny ones living inside them, feeding on their flesh. Absolutely, they need to eat, stay there, and drink blood. Okay, I'm sleeping. My coffees. You want to provoke me. How many questions?
Thank you, Rinpoche. Hamako has a question, 2 questions. First, I heard someone call Mamo as a great mother. In this case, why does Mamo belong to the Preta realms?
That you heard from the modern science language, Mama means great mother. They are not pretas. This Mama is the spirit. It's something living in indivisible way. This is we are now. It's like in the 8th class. There is Mama. It is not great mother, it's spirit. Like kind of I told you, some lady, or sorry to say. And but really it's the mama is a great mother, and maybe in the human societies. But better don't, before die, to wrap, don't put in a cough. And some in the countries, ancient times, they do. You are great mother. Without die, you need to go to the cough. And then it's put like soft cottons without a date, you know. Mama is need to sit like this, put gold, silver, particularly they put on the mouth or ears, very gold. And then put into the very, very soft cough. Very nice cough. Very expensive, put there, close, lock, and bury. We need to repay that. Okay, this kind of we can to archaeologists to find the mamas. That is great mother. They're not hungry God. But the similarity, they need to die on the calf by the hunger and thirsty.
Thank you. Her second question.
Hamako's
second question says, Rinpoche just explains to us that 8 classes of gods and demons belong to the Preta realm, and Naga as well included there. In this case, why Naga could offer the sutra to Nagarjuna, and why some of them can control the weather.
Why you are concerned is something this. As I said, some human beings also treat us. Okay, sorry. We're talking about the thirsty and the hungry. Whoever sentient beings, a huge suffering of the thirsty and hungry. If they die by the hunger and thirsty, it's experience the hungry ghost. Of course, in the animal realms, maybe it's like some in the Nangas, they are maybe rich, maybe they're beautiful, they are not belong the hunger ghost. And generally speaking, in the human beings, normally human beings is not hungry ghosts. But some is the human beings, same as hungry ghosts. They die by hunger and thirsty.
Thank you. Leah from Belgium asks, I read several times that the prayer you suggest to memorize, and I'm wondering if this virus was sent to make us change our attitude and have a better human responsibility regarding climate change, so that we can benefit all beings who share this earth with us. In this case, is it not better to have a prayer to purify our souls?
You looks like appreciate this coronavirus. Okay, you think it's like it can to the fresh word you enjoy. But those died by the coronas, where are they now? How much they are suffering through death process. What do you think? Do you thinking about that or not? Give me answer.
Thank you. Dasha asks, Rinpoche, I would like to clarify. When you say that something naturally appears, does naturally mean that without cause and conditions?
Yes, causeless, conditionless, no source, no origination, no destination, no present moment. That is the best. Don't need to do nothing. Also, we cannot say do not do nothing, also cannot. Then what? Even no existent what? And then also not existent then. What do you want to do? Better to eat nyua.
Thank you. Helen Galushukov asks how to recognize maternal instinct and bodhicitta. My friend claims that animals have only instincts.
Instinct.
Instincts. Maternal instinct. Instinct. Like animals have instinct to run or fear.
Can you read whole sentences?
She asks how to recognize maternal, the mother, instinct.
Maternal.
Maternal, it's the mother instinct of a mother. And bodhicitta.
Bodhicitta.
Bodhicitta. My friend claims that animals have only instincts.
And?
I think she's asking how to recognize and differentiate between the two, or them together.
No. It's okay. Can you make clear? Okay. Maybe my English is not very good. I couldn't catch your questions. This thing enter into what is different. Can you make precise question? Okay, thank you. And next one?
I think I can clarify.
Mm-hmm.
She says, my friend claims that animals have only instincts. So if she's asking if...
But what does means instinct?
Natural instinct of an animal.
Instinct, I don't know this word.
When an animal is born, first thought food to survive. Instinct of just this natural...
Mm-hmm. Okay, instinct. And different, you can use the tendencies.
Like the animal, now the bird has the eggs, and then the eggs hatch, it naturally it will go to find food. It's the instincts driving it to survive.
Mm-hmm. And then?
I think the difference then, if an animal has only these instincts of surviving, or also can have...
Okay. That means it's they automatically they need to find bodhicitta.
No.
What is the difference bodhicitta and instinct?
Yes. Maternal instinct. The mother who is feeling this instinct to take care of its child.
Okay.
Like love for the child, and the mother of an animal. Mother feels this taking care of this baby of the mother. Is it instinct or is it bodhicitta of the animal?
No, you chant, yes, okay. I mean, it's of course, it is instinct. Now I understand. Maybe your meaning is like spontaneously to have this kind of tendencies. Maybe that mean your meaning is. And to taking care of others. That one's compassion, or this is like kind of like this. This is tendencies and habitual tendencies. Or it's like instinct means instantaneously. Maybe it's like they're doing this naturally. And yes, maybe it's like naturally, basically, maybe from the essential mind, they both can occur. The like kind of the naturally occurring the aggressive things, naturally occurring the compassion, and towards a different object, relative, enemy, hatred, something. And of course, if you can to have some, it's like a instinct, kindness to the others. It's a part of the compassion. You can to say, yes.
Thank you. A question from Konstantin. Dear Rinpoche, a big thanks for teachings. Could you please say again how we can correctly create bodhicitta, and any method of this. Thank you.
Okay, the correct bodhicitta, the explanation of the bodhicitta, which kind of attitude, the meaning of the bodhicitta, and the beginning of this book's explanation very well, and how you can to generate the bodhicitta pure and really. You need to analyze in this kind of situations. And the meaning of the bodhicittas, I already taught. For example, it's like when you have children, when you have family, when you have your dearest. If this person is something sick, something is dangerous, you have feeling, I want to save. And you have feeling, I want to do something. And also it's like generally, maybe if you love someone, maybe your children, maybe your parents, maybe your partner, someone's. And then you have the wish, they need to become better, happy, and successful. You have this kind of feeling. That is the example of the compassion, bodhicitta. And if you have this feeling towards any other sentient beings, then it's the good compassion, bodhicitta. But generally, the meaning of the bodhicitta means it's like this. Then more than that, what I need to say. Now you are searching in this kind of realms, hungry ghosts, animals, and also it's like health. Then you maybe consider, maybe those are your families. Maybe those are your friends. Maybe you have feel like this, then you cannot to relax. You want to do something. I want to make liberation to them. I want to do something. Then is this feeling, attitude, is the compassion. Any questions?
And 2, 3, 4 questions.
Okay.
Then Sojo asks, if we need to apply compassionate, wrathful activity, how exactly should we do it? We generate anger and use it maintaining awareness, or we keep calm mind and just pretend that we are wrathful?
Before you do the compassionate activity of wrathful, your mind should to become compassionate, to wise it, understood all the other sentient being situations. And you become the mastery of your anger, disattachment, aversions, so on. Then you can do acting, the compassion, wrathful attitude. Deeply in your mind, you never angry, you never hate to any other. But then it's like you can to give educations. But you not ready yet in your mind is like this. Maybe you are like, oh, I want to try to act compassionate, wrathful. But behind theirs, maybe you concerning something self-oriented, benefit, manipulate, something actors. And if you have checked your mind as sincere or the honest, definitive, really you have fully compassion, and then you give, in order to give education to acting some wrath for them, then it's okay, anytime.
Thank you. Dana Kotichi asks, Rinpoche, if a preta is as real as an animal, or it's a metaphor for someone?
I need to repeat again. Pretas, pretas, hungry. Where do you think come from the word of the hungry? Hungry is existence. Thirsty is existence. Where is the shape, color, form of the hungry and thirsties? And there is no existence of. Some is like thirsty animals, hungry animals. But we, it's like preta means if some sentient beings suffering by the hunger, suffering by the thirsties, all the constantly, even some in the countries, some areas, lack of food, lack of the drink, and maybe hot, cold, and also it's like inside the feeling want to eat, drink. And then this is like we can call the hungry areas. Hungry, you can to say is like kind of I'm Tibetan, see, because I'm come from Tibet. But what do you mean? I'm a Tibetan, and it's, I'm not, because it's like I'm human flesh. But in the given me is a Tibetan means these areas too, and this area is like a kind of the land like this. Same is like when you are hungry, and this hunger is the sufferings, and then we call the hunger areas. Then it's like these hunger areas, it says the uncertainty beings, even the human beings, there is a hungry ghost realms. As I many times, if someone's thirsty, someone's hungry, it's hungry.
Thank you. Then Dorji Kandu has one question. Rinpoche, once we get enlightenment, is there chances of being reborn in samsara?
So delicious. I hope this strawberries wake up me. Yes, I think it's enlightened qualities. We're talking about the permeate spontaneously, and it's a forever. So there's three qualities, adjectives, describe the enlightened qualities. Permeate means you kind of to be everywhere, and that means you go to the hungry ghost, animal, samsara. But of course, your mind is never injured by the samsaric sufferings. But you can go in the samsara. That's all.
Thank you. Irina Timochenko asks, thank you, Rinpoche, for your yesterday's answer. But what does it mean that we can be diluted again or not? Does not depend on the true nature of reality?
No. Not depends of the natural, and depends the understanding and not understanding. Not understand, diluted. Understand, never diluted. Okay, then its question is finished. And if you have questions, you can to send again. I'm taking out my glasses. I'm continue. And the next paragraph is, we also still like a kind of the searching for the animal realms. Some of these creatures are the born between the continent. And of course, there is a very much uncertainty place where the sun does not shine, and whether they cannot even see whether their limbs are the bent in and creech out. And okay, maybe my sentence is this. And also here is talking about the sun and the moon. Maybe it is like not we are seeing now in this sun of the like fire ball, and the moon of the like kind of the whole called like kind of the star. And here is like kind of the creatures thinking about the I am sun and the moon. And this kind of the generally they life, probably they have feeling like I'm illuminating in this universal. And also moons are making cooling in this universal. But this kind of concerner and say I'm sun and moon. But those maybe is like some is the like kind of the animals. Maybe living in the, who knows, in the sun and the moon. And long life, 100% under this material, compounded, it disappeared. Maybe they can to survive. Why? Because it's compounded, like sun and moon. And until they disappeared, died, then of course the mind is there, can. Because mind is never, the essential mind is never become old. Essential mind is the like kind of the old age and the deathless. There is no existence of the birth and old age, sickness, death. And but when they are holding, some think that is my body, and then this is like kind of there is a, in the diluted, what we said is like there is one word, stoled. You know, we say the stoled, yes? I forgot, stoled perceptions. Distorted, thanks, distorted. And distorted perceptions, perspective. And then it's like kind of there is a birth, old age, sickness, death. And then this kind of the feeling, maybe some beings holding like kind of the decided or the like kind of consider the body is sun and the moon. And one is like they finish it. 100% one day sun and the moon is they disappeared. That time is also this holder of these sentient beings, the beings, may be reborn in the very strange, in the darkness place. And being this like kind of the very strong, this kind of cannot even see whether they are limp. The limbs and the band they cannot to stretch out. Kind of this kind of animals can existence. And also stupid and ignorant animals, very, very much. And it's like kind of they cannot to accomplishment or the like kind of the comprehension of what to do and what not to do. What to do, for example, like we can do say one animal says, can you repeat a mani padme hum shazna? Very difficult. Maybe some magpie or parrot, but also they cannot to say it properly. Maybe we can to tell them, can you generate bodhicitta? They never. And like this, they have such kind of the tendencies. There is one questions. Instinctious, how do you say? Instinctious, or this lady's questions. Instinct, okay. Instinct, or like kind of normally we call the habitual tendencies, instinct. And it's like because of the stupid, ignorant, they do not know what is the really right and wrong. And like this, and this is like really the basic, the qualities of the animals. They are reborn in the place where suffering, no boundaries. It is like a kind of the sufferings. It is really the endless, like kind of the wherever animals. There is such sufferings. When I look at the geographic channels, I looked many different type of the animals. Someone's very big, elegant, lions, tigers. But of course, they are concentratedly hungry, concentratedly suffering. They attack each other, they bite each other, they kill each other. And all the times, even they cannot really relaxedly to pick up the full mouth of the grass. Even they cannot to drink the waters. All the time nervous, all the times other animals to attack. And this kind of the suffering is concentratedly there is. And then it's like we need to meditate on it, generate bodhicitta, and those kind of, how do you say, it's like some deeply living those animals. Maybe we can to say it's like some animals, like a frog. They are living in the deepest in the earth. And it's really, I saw my own eyes when you are digging earth. Maybe you dig earth, maybe it's like 4 or 5 meters. And then the frog is coming. And also it's like sometimes you can to go deep, maybe there's a fish, anything. And also it's the very deep in the oceans, maybe 100 meters under the deep. There is no light at all. And there are some is a fish living. Maybe they have feeling cold, they have some lack of the luminosity, but they are like kind of the scaring, dark, like kind of the very much sufferings. We need to think them and generate bodhicitta, and how I can to make liberate them, whoever my families or the beings reborn in this kind of animals, and quickly liberate and quickly be free. And I never ever want to there reborn again this kind of situation. Any others, my family or the sentient beings to reborn in the animal realms, and generate bodhicitta, practice non-conceptualization, and dedicate. Very important. Now we are next is traveling into the second animals realms. The life is like scattered in the different place, different. The animals that live in the realms of the God and the human, suffering continually from their stupidity and from being exploded. And that is the truth. And he said it's like uncertainty, scattered animals. And like a kind of, they are like in Tibetans, is we call the tatndro. And the kind of the going, or the great like ignored transmigrations. Ignored transmigration or transgressions has thick ignorant, and they do not know what is right and what is the wrongs. But those are the like living, maybe is the even the God realms, even of course in the human realms, and also it's like maybe in the Nanga realms, and maybe in the Dhamma-God realms. They were everywhere living. And probably also is like those animals is living in the hunger ghost realms. And also it's like the hell. It's very difficult to, like certainty, they're living in the scattered live. Of course, this is like a Buddha and kind of the ancient methods to understand the sentient beings. In order to understand sentient beings' situation, they make the classification, like classified to make the groups. Generally speaking, in the animal realms, maybe animal of the hell, animal of the hunger ghost, animal of the human, animal of the God, animal of the demigod, like same as the we are. And we are, the form is a human, but sometimes under the human forms, they are like kind of experience the hell. Also they are like human formed, but they experience same as the hungry cows. And of course we are human like kind of, but we are like kind of the experienced animals, and under the like kind of control, torch, and like kind of punishment, and all the time is making war, concentratedly kind of the worry, run. And like kind of I heard one is like some countries, very famous one guy, but he's very like arrogant and a quite high position, also very dangerous. These areas want to kill him, and many enemies. And like they say, it's like where you are, we will kill him. Then he's very scaring, but very rich. And he coming in his house, and he stopped in the front of his house. First time he said, run without close the car. And because it's like maybe some in the space, they are waiting. When he's going on some place and he mixed changing cars, all the time is nervous. And in this perspective, they are like animals, because others to attack you. And someone is like in the prison and like this. It's a human animals, human hunger goes, human health, human God, human demigod. Like this, we don't know it's like where is the animals is to be in the sufferings this. Like continually from their stupidities, absolutely from being exploded to using them. While the Nangas pass their lives in the misery being tormented by Garuda and the rain of burning sands. And also it's like Nangas, of course they have such, this Garuda means it's like kind of the lot of birds eaters. And I wouldn't to say it's like kind of some specific there is in Garudas. Look, there's many Garudas. They are eating Nangas of the snake, frog, fish. And everything is like they pick up without die and swallowed. How much they suffer in those birds in the stomach before they die. And it's like this. And also some is like those animals. When it's like raining strong, the feeling is like sand is running. And also like there's very funny things. And I don't want to say them, it's like sometimes different naturals, you put on the heated in the animals. For example, salt. You put on the frog, and just a few minutes, salt go through the frog, and frog is already whole in the middle of the body. And like this, they are like kind of they living in in the fire. If they like kind of water's coming, maybe for them it's like to burning. And someone's living in the water, it's the fire's coming, of course they're burning. Someone's living in the earth, when they receive water and like a fire, of course they have such kind of problems. And like this, they're kind of the, coding the, how do you say the perception? Distorted perceptions, distorted. I like this word, distorted. The lopasi is in a philosophical perspective. Distorted perception means when you look at the conch, you perceive yellow. This is the kind of the distorted perceptions. You look at the conch, you see as white, and then it's like this is not distorted. It's like pure perceptions you can to say. Of course, not kind of pure perception of the authentic perspective. In the relative perspective, you say it's like to see the direct on mistakes. Blue, as you see the blue, is like kind of you see the direct, there's no distorted perceptions. Distorted perception means red you see blue, blue see the red, this kind of. And those animals has a lot of like distorted perceptions. And they have different like kind of hallucination, different experience, and it's like this. And today is, I don't know, my feelings very much I'm sleeping, and I want to like a very much kind of excuse. But anyway, in the additionally, they are the very much stupid, aggressive, and poisonous, and poisonous, and also it's a very kind of they wild animals that share our humans' word, and particularly in the concentrated fear. They cannot eat a single mouthful of the food without being on their like goats. Goat is a little. Huh? God or good. No? It is like kind of the not relax, cannot to peacefully to move. Yeah. And like this kind of scattered animals, also such different suffering experience we need to generate, and also we can to continue to research. Maybe do you have some questions? Okay, there's questions. Yes, because I don't want to take questions, but it's I'm a little sleep. I don't know what can I do. Pang. Questions someone make very bored. Okay, sorry. Maybe to it.
Thank you. Helen Galushko asks, why is enlightenment such a difficult process? Millions of practitioners and very few enlightened ones.
That is true. Everybody that's true. Everybody wants the king and the queen or president. Why is it difficult? My questions, why? But this one is no problem. We can achieve or not achieve. It is difficult. You need to search, put effort, collect money, give it study. A lot of you need to do qualities. But enlightenment, more higher than achievement that, but very easy to compare that. In order to be enlightenment, we don't need to go outside. You can go to outside to listen teaching the Dharma. But with not much to collective things, only receive the teachings to use into the mind. We don't need much preparations. We don't need many house, many cars, many monies. Don't need too many secretaries, managers. Simple your life, you can to become the enlightenment. I would to say it's like be enlightenment more easy than to become the president of your country. But you cannot become many. If you are one country, maybe millions of people, but nobody's difficult to become the president. Why? It's difficult. Sometimes like this. Maybe it can everybody, but some they're relatively complicated. Buddha natures everybody has. According to that, can become the enlightenment, but depends your these activities. I think so.
Thank you. Dasha asks, when carnivore and other animals kill each other, do they accumulate the same negative karma of killing as people, or is it different?
Like same as your dreams. There's descriptions. The animals, they haven't got maybe 4 actions completed. When they're hungry, they like kind of the, what you said before, instincts or instinctively, I need food, you killed. And also maybe it's difficult to recognize which kind of animals. They haven't got any ideas or think food. And it's difficult to get, when they kill, very difficult. This food is very complicated. And this other animal is that they're suffering or they want to escape. They don't think about that. And maybe it's like same as your dreams, you're killing things. Of course there is negative that you need to confess, but not same as that during the maybe day. Like, for example, we can to say it's like really it's like the meaning of the killings, like humans. First time you're angry, you recognize these beings, human or animals, these first steps. Then you want to kill, and like really like kind of the preparing which kind of way, direct or indirect, or which kind of weapons. And second, the third one is you react now. It's the process. You shooting, or you like kind of what you doing things. It's like actings. And then the fourth one is like this other one is a diet. Separated mind and then is the really killing process. That is the fully killing process as such negative. But animals is killing animals. It's like same as we are in the dreams, they said. Of course this is negative, but not stronger than the real, like as we humans. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, other questions? No questions. Okay, love. Thanks. This maybe it's like kind of there's next kind of the paragraphs goes like this, and they have many multi enemies like the enemies, and also for all animals prey on each other, and they are the all-wise hunter, beast of the prey and other threatened to lives. And also there are some is like kind of the killing, eating each other. And also there's different hunters and other kind of the other beasters, predators. And they kill each other and they eat each other. And of course it's hunters, fishermen, and the butchers, how much they slaughtered and killed those animals. Animals all the time concentratedly, like kind of the threat and terrified and kind of the panic. For example, how they do. Hawks kill the small birds kill insect. That is the killing each other. And so on, so on. There's many differences also. And like kind of, as it before says, it is like a small, like the hawks eating the birds eating the insects. And like a kind of the bird itself killed by the hawks, hawk is also killed sometimes big birds. Big birds killing each other. They all the times each other eating, killing, and disturbing. And therefore, it's like the animals, like concentratedly amassing evil actions in the endless round of the killing and being killed. And of course, in the animal realms, there's nothing kind of the benefit. And also, it's like we can to look at those hunters. They are the human beings. They're killing the connected some animals. The expert in the old method of the torturing and killing these animals. Absolutely. We can to see direct some like kind of the butcher factories, like sheep, horse, cow, yaks. And before to slaughter, how much they are kind of torturing. And also same as the hunters, they're killing wild animals. Also they're torturing. This is the suffering of the animals. And also they're using different weapons that threaten their life with all sort of vicious devils, nets, and snares, tap, and guns, and how they can to catch those hunters has many different weapons. One they are like kind of the device, like nets or the snares. When they catch those animals, before they killed, they damaged their arm, leg, neck, and many hours they need to stay there, bear the injured, or they tapped into some box. And then it's like, of course, they bring the weapon, gun, or knife, then they're killing. Some animals are killed for their horns, poo, skin, and other product of their body. Of course, they have naturally ornament. And it's like a fox and other animals, very beautiful skin. And according to their skins, they lost their life. It's like there's kind of the skin or the feather or the like kind of the hairs. Better to have very ugly, but then they don't lose their life. But they have beautiful kind of the hairs, or it is like kind of horns, like say this rhinoceros and deers. And according to the horn, many people they're killing them. Thousands rhinoceros kill, they only look at the horn of the rhinoceros. Sometimes the hunters, they don't eat any in the wild deers. They kill and they just take horns. Skins it, some of those animals, like in the wild, fox, wolf, and some is the cats. The skin is very soft. They make their own like kind of cloth. But then it's their body they don't eat. Of course, they throw out. Only skin, like snakes. But they lost their life and the product of their body. And they according to their own bodies, and bring the enemy, killer, murders. They lost their lives. This sort of these animals has such sufferings. We need to meditate on it and sending compassion, and we need to research more and more. And next there is like oyster, we start tomorrow, not now. Okay, thank you. And today is a little bit I'm asleep because yesterday I ate too much biscuit. Maybe according that I'm sleepy, I'm very sorry. And I want to say thanks this attention. Thanks for your patience. Thanks your listen. And to be with me, I'm very much happy because it's benefit for me. I'm trying to read Tibetan and English both. But I'm not now to study these things a little too late. But I want to explore this situation. I want to more experience those sentient beings' experience. I want to develop my compassion. I want to really to make extended my wisdoms in order to understand those my kind of the relative families. If I understand to them, then it's like my egoless, self-concerning less. And I'm very happy. Why? If I'm concerned like this, and like normal panic, afraid, and kind of maybe I'm going to die, maybe I'm going to lose, maybe I'm something but something, lesser and lesser. Even it's like kind of thinking about those animals. If my body is like kind of the scattered, immediately like explodes, what is this? Just one single sentient beings. Look at those amount of the sentient beings' sufferings. And then it's like a little bit become the fearless. It's a wonderful. And continue like develop this. Maybe it's like death process start now. Maybe not necessarily to be afraid. Can't you choose to manage and maybe bring into the path? To say it's like may ever sentient beings like die, they become free the death. If sick, may ever like kind of sickness bring into the path. May never sentient beings to become sick. Like I'm taking all the sickness of the sentient beings. If you have this kind of the wish attitude, it's a wonderful. It makes a lot of happy. I'm like very much stupid, and it is like kind of selfish. I need this kind of education. I'm very happy to be with you. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. This is praying, I think so. Not crying. Okay. Shoncha. And this is not. Shoncha Sancho Rinpoche. That is. Shoncha Sancho Rinpoche. That is not good. Shoncha Sancho Rinpoche. That is. Shoncha Sancho Rinpoche. Mahi pa nan he jerji shi pa nyamba. Kone kondam pera sho sanchen ne parachenye pa nyerde ne le tajrjin roba ne na malu pa to de njong me para. Manan to don den baraton song adi jun de baraton kan ru sumbo la so. Ni ji san dong dan jer ji chong dong lang song mo xian la je pen zi la ye ta hi ni je. Dil samba ye yan de pa ton ce rin ne me de he dan bar sho shong chu san chu rinpo ma hi pa nam he jer ji hi pa nyam ba me pa ton kon ni kon de pera sho. Close this one.